Hello, good evening. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. شو الأخبار?
Hey, Alhamdulillah. How are you?
Your hair is loose today.
Yes, I tied it yesterday.
Okay,
Is it
nice.
good or not?
Yeah, it's good. It's looking good.
I'm glad you like it. Okay. Uh, so before we begin, how would you like this to play out? Like, you want me to ask you the questions, or are you prepared
Yes,
to give
yes, yes.
your lecture?
You can ask me the questions and we can just have a normal discussion.
Sure. Beautiful. Okay, so this is an interview for the Business Administration and Economics courses in Bahçeşehir University. And I'm joined today with Mr. elrjula, founder of Flus.me, a crypto enthusiast and expert. And we're going to discuss the issue of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and the potential definanced global economy questions. So we shall begin.
Let's start. Let's get it.
So the first question, from your deep understanding of the topic, could you describe what Bitcoin is and how it works?
Definitely. Bitcoin is a technology. It is an answer to a problem in computer science. And this problem is called the general Byzantine problem. How can you establish trust on a network? And how can you establish trust on a network among participants that do not know each other and that do not trust each other in the first place? So this is what Bitcoin answered in a scientific paper. And they answered that by combining a group of sciences like cryptography, like statistics, probability, mathematics, economics, distributed systems, game theory, and much more. So it is not a new invention in the sense that something new was invented. No, but something new was put together for the first time. Uh, who invented this protocol or who invented this infrastructure? Nobody knows. It's a pseudonym under Satoshi Nakamoto. That's why I said they in my description of what the scientific paper is about or what the white paper is about. You can find it on Google. Just Google Bitcoin white paper. You can download it. It's free for everyone to read. Who is Satoshi? We don't know, and I don't think it matters to find out who is Satoshi, because today we don't answer or we don't ask who invented internet or who invented email or who invented www. We just use these services. Now, in the sense of Satoshi, it is a little bit more sensitive because we're talking about money, and money and the state has been always coupled together. They're always like twins. But what Satoshi came to say is we are going to separate money from the state and we are going to give the creation of money back to people. These are big words. This is a big statement, but it is happening today. And it is valued at more than $1 trillion. We have more than 100 million users. We have exahashes of computing power behind the Bitcoin network. And we have an innovation that is measured in another $1 trillion in what we call alternative coins or altcoins, like Ethereum, Litecoin, Dogecoin, Polkadot, Chainlink. All these innovations, they started from the day that Bitcoin was born. It gave others the inspiration to do something else.
I see, beautiful. I've seen some conspiracy theories regarding the creation or the creator of Bitcoin. They were
Yeah,
speculating that the CIA or America has created Bitcoin. Would it matter if that was the case, truly?
I mean, beyond speculation, it is a fact that the internet by itself was a US Army project, and it was released to the public in 1973.
Really?
So yeah,
Oh, what happened? What is going on?
I don't know what happened, man. Something from my end that was disconnected.
No
So
worries.
we were saying that the NSA by itself, the internet, sorry, we were saying that the internet by itself was a project released by the US Army in 1973, ARPANET. We all know this, and the internet fit on one A4 paper at that time. So, is it possible that the NSA has done the white paper of Bitcoin? Could be. Does it matter who did it? I don't think so, because what matters today is this code of Bitcoin future proof? Can it be stopped? Is it distributed enough? Is it resilient enough? Are there enough users behind it? Are the consensus algorithms in it functioning? I think those are the more important questions than who did it. It could be that it was done by the NSA and someone leaked it. But as I said, this is not a type of invention. This is more of like a piece of Lego that was put together to create Bitcoin. So there is no new components in Bitcoin. Proof of work existed since the 60s and the 70s. Consensus algorithms, the same. It's old. These are old scientific and academic and mathematical concepts. This is not something new.
Great. So do you think the proof of work, cryptography, the mechanism in which Bitcoin operates proves the sustainability and reliability of the technology, having it is impossible to hack it?
Well, yeah, I mean this is an interesting question. Proof of work by itself dates back to 1993. Just to correct what I said before about that proof of work existed in the 60s and the 70s. No, it is in 1993. And it is really important for people to understand why is it used. It is used for the following reason, because we want to prove that the computer has done its job in balancing the transactions and in making sure that what is written on this ledger has not been changed and is true and correct. When you are achieving such a status, you are automatically saying, I have a ledger that there's no fraud in it and there's no cheating and nobody has deleted a number from it. So what is the next application that you can build on such type of ledgers? Money, because money, the movement of money happens on ledgers. We move money or we exchange money, we exchange value by simply writing down what do I owe you and what do you owe me? And we go back to the ledgers to check. The moment that proof of work was used in a way to make sure that there is a sequence of events or a sequence of data that can be linked to each other and that can be cryptographically proven, mathematically proven, that has no change, no fraud has happened. I think this is worth, the energy consumption. This is worth the burning of resources to create such a ledger. Now, what are we talking here about? Of course, is the elephant in the room is Bitcoin and its proof of work environmental friendly. Are the CO2 emissions worth to create or to use such type of technology? In my opinion, it is, because Bitcoin today is not just a network to send and receive money. You are able to issue money, receive money, send money, lend money, borrow money, stake money, and you are able to do full financial services on a simple software, where banks, if they need to follow the same business model, they will not be only emitting CO2, they will be as well shedding blood. And it is obvious in history how these conquests that happened, running after money, running after gold, after silver, after oil, there was a lot of blood shed in that process. So if Bitcoin did not burn electricity and convert it into some sort of mathematical work computationally happening at a computer and not with a human being, this gives me more confidence to trust what I'm seeing. Because humans, they have emotions, they lie, but computer, you give him 1 + 1, it will always be 2 for him or for it. So how do we know that the computer has done its job? Yeah, you need to measure the CPU consumption. You need to measure the mining, the hashing that is happening there. And all these measurements, they need the computer to work. The computer needs electricity. So you're dissipating heat, you're consuming electricity, dissipating heat. So what are you doing? You're working. When you eat a banana and you go work in a field, you're sweating. You're releasing heat. What is that? What does releasing heat means? Means you have done a job, you have worked. So on the computer, when I put my hand on it and it's hot, this means my memory on the computer is running really fast. My hard disk is running fast. All other components are functioning. It's working. It's delivering the job that I wanted to deliver. And for that, you need a reward. It's pure thermodynamics law. You need a reward for this. And in terms of Bitcoin, the reward is created, and we call it, Bitcoin. It's created every 10 minutes according to what the software is saying.
Beautifully put. Amazing. Okay, so when I first initially decided to approach you for this potential interview, my main how could I say, my main interest was revolved around the economic situation happening in Lebanon and how this can validate the concept of a global cryptocurrency-based economy. And so please explain to me how have your startup Flus.me contributed or helped to alleviate some of the troubles in the current failed economic situation in Lebanon?
Yeah. When the capital controls started in Lebanon, we have been already spreading the Bitcoin education since 2014. So since 2014, we have an active role in telling people what cryptocurrencies is about. We always believe that is the future of money. It will change how we communicate value. It will change how we transact among each other. It will change human relations. It will change a lot of stuff. Now, What we didn't expect is that both the US dollar and the Lebanese lira to be confiscated by the banks and the government. The capital controls that happened did not only affect Lebanese lira holders, but for the first time, US dollar holders. So if you are holding US dollar in your bank account, the bank confiscated this money and you cannot withdraw it. You can withdraw $50 a week. This is your right. You can transact with your Visa card perhaps $20 or $30 in a week. Amounts vary, a lot of rules, a lot of regulation on controlling the currency in the country. What we expected is that the Lebanese lira to hyperinflate or lose its value, but as usual, the US dollar can play a hedge against this inflation, and people always prefer to have US dollar in their banks. So when the bank was offering a high interest rate on Lebanese lira, and people were basically working outside Lebanon, the diaspora, they're sending money back home every single month. All this money is being saved in banks, saved in bank accounts. Suddenly, there's no more high interest rates on lira. There is no withdrawals. There's no deposits. Banks are closed. The pandemic, Corona. It is, and then the explosion of Beirut port happened. NGOs want to be active on the ground. They want to send money to Lebanon. They want to pay their staff. They want to ship. They want to send money to purchase equipment, aid equipment. They couldn't. So this is where we thought, hey, Bitcoin can break barriers. How do we know that Bitcoin break barriers? Yeah, because I lived in a refugee camp and I used Bitcoin to transact beyond the walls of the refugee camp. And I didn't have an ID. I didn't have a passport. Yeah, I didn't have anything. All what I had with me was my smartphone and internet connection. And this is the same situation now, but it's not being felt by one person. You have 4 million people who are living now in a camp called Lebanon. You cannot go to the east because there is war. You cannot go to the south because there is war. To your north, there is war. And to your west is the sea. And the closest country is 200 kilometers away, and you cannot swim 200 kilometers. So the people in Lebanon are trapped like how refugees are trapped in camps. Will Bitcoin or will cryptocurrencies help them break financial barriers? Possible. It is possible. It is not a certain answer, but it is the only left option. You don't have any other option yet. PayPal will not extend services for you. American banks will not extend services for you. European banks will not extend services for you. What is left? You cannot take banking services from Syria. You cannot take banking services from Israel. So you cannot take banking services from your neighbors. The only living organism that can give you a banking service perhaps is the fish in the sea. But yeah, that's not realistic as well. So what are we left with? Yeah, you're left with the only option that works in such dire, dirty, unhuman conditions, which is Bitcoin. And how do we know this? Because the first use case of Bitcoin came from the dark web, the filthiest places on earth. The most dark places on earth is the dark web, and crypto work there fine. It doesn't mean that we're encouraging the use cases of crypto on the dark web. But if this technology worked in a dark place like the dark web, in a bad place like the dark web, yeah, it will work in Lebanon then.
Beautiful.
So this is where we started the flus. Flus in Arabic means money. We had to take a break in flus to reassess our strategy, to reassess what we want to offer to the people, because just offering crypto is not enough. You have to give a service with your crypto offering. What is your crypto gonna do for you? You bought Bitcoin today, and then what? You know, you're not gonna hold it for the rest of your life. You
Smart.
have to use it. Yeah, you have to use it in some way or another. So which is this way? Are you going to buy a sandwich with it? Yeah, you cannot, because the Bitcoin transactions today are really high. Are you going to buy an apartment with it? Yeah, possible. If you have $200,000-$300,000 on Bitcoin, yeah, you can do that. So this is where now we are taking a step back, trying to revisit our value proposition. Definitely, we see some use cases where crypto can be helpful in Lebanon, and perhaps we will talk about it later.
Sure. I mean, a parallel question would be, I mean, parallel to the dire situation happening in Lebanon, would you think Bitcoin would be, or your method of work would be helpful in places such as Gaza, where I come from, where it's
Yeah,
blockaded from
yeah.
literally?
Let me tell you a story about that. In 2017, I was the first guy to do a Bitcoin transaction to Gaza.
Really?
We did it from Utrecht in the Netherlands to Gaza Strip in Palestine.
That's amazing.
We did it with an organization called Gaza Geeks or Gaza Sky Geeks. They are a non-profit organization working in the technology space in Gaza. I think they're called Gaza Sky Geeks. We went on a Skype call. Some of the people who were attending Gaza Sky Geeks downloaded a wallet, and he showed his QR code on the camera, and we transferred from my phone to his phone. At that time, Bitcoin was, I think, like $600, and I transferred for him $5 or $10. The transaction fee was really low, but we did it. We broke the financial embargo around this. This is the first step. Always, it's always just to test for people that, yeah, this works. Now, what is the next step? What can I do with it? You know, you have several options. If you are getting paid, you can get paid by Bitcoin. It's possible. I don't think today Bitcoin is used as a payment channel for many reasons. One is it is expensive to send and receive Bitcoin today. And the second reason is once you do a transaction, you cannot take it back. So the chargebacks do not exist. Yeah, some merchants don't like this. You know, they like that, some clients could not like this. They like the fact that, hey, I can take my money back if something wrong went, or if someone used my wallet in a unauthorized method, that I can get it back. So but the more, I mean, if, and I don't think it's if, I think it's when financial networks will melt down, like Visa, MasterCard, something happens and they stop giving services to some people or to some groups. And it happened with the porn industry. So Pornhub cannot process Visa and MasterCard transactions anymore. What do they accept today? They accept crypto. So unless the user is a really die-hard fan of Pornhub and he needs a paid subscription, and there is no other way to do it other than going to buy crypto and do that, then yes, you are going to take this journey of going to Coinbase or to an exchange, identifying yourself, or even to any simple wallet, identify yourself, and then buy the crypto with your credit card, or buy the crypto with your bank bank methods, and then transfer this crypto to Pornhub to access the service, then it could happen. But if I'm just simply shopping around, I see something that I like, if my Visa card is in my hand, I have more tendency of just filling in some numbers, 3 clicks and I got it.
True.
You know, and in crypto, it is not, the process is not that simple yet.
Could it be developed to be that simple?
100%. This is where technologies like a Lightning Network come to play to help people pay fast and secure and really cheap on the Bitcoin network. But it is not yet the psychology of the consumer today is not to use Bitcoin as a way of payment, but to use it as a store of value and to use it as a way to get rich really quick. This is what crypto is about today. It's about hodling. So buy something and just hold on it for the next, I don't know, 5 to 10 years. Or yeah, buy this currency at 0.01001. And if it goes to 0.601, then you made 400% profit. Okay, this is what crypto is about today. But this will fade. This will not last forever because there is no substance to it. The substance is happening when you are, yeah, definitely you are holding crypto, but you're holding the projects that are growing and that have demand, and you become a market maker in this protocol. You become a person who has a vote in this protocol, who can, with his coins or with his money, can see the features that he or she wants to be implemented or that fit his mission, his vision, and his philanthropy in life. So I think hodling, just saying the term hodling, or to hodl on your, to hold your coins forever, no, that is not, this is, for me, this is not what crypto is about.
Beautiful. I mean, this begs the following question. How do you feel about Tesla? I think they purchased a large quantity of Bitcoin recently,
Yeah.
and they sold a
Yeah.
small percentage to prove the liquidity of the technology.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that? I know they received tons of criticism. Well,
Yeah.
how do you feel?
I mean, of course, Tesla selling their cars for Bitcoin is a good indicator that we are going into a world where products and services can be exchanged for cryptocurrencies. It started with Tesla. You never know who will be next. But yeah, is this the only sign that we are looking for or that we are waiting for? I don't think so. Because if Bitcoin didn't exist, it will add nothing, no value to Tesla. If Bitcoin is not there, Tesla would still continue to sell its cars.
True.
But if Bitcoin is not there, a Syrian refugee in a camp would not have been able to get money. A Lebanese freelancer will not be able to get paid. A Nigerian farmer will not be able to raise money for his farm to increase it by a cow or get a new tractor. A US musician was not able to crowdfund his, I don't know, his piece of art, or to NFT, his piece of art. So these are the must-have of the technology. It is not nice to have anymore. It's a must-to-have tool. It's like your toothbrush. You have to use it twice in a day. You cannot live without it. And if you live without it, your teeth will fall apart. Bitcoin is the same thing for a category of people that is large in numbers. We're talking about billions around the world. And without it, those people do not have any other alternative. Their life will not move forward. Unlike Tesla with Bitcoin or without Bitcoin, it's making sales.
True. Amazing. This shows the value of the technology and the potential decentralization that could follow. So the following question is, do you think global decentralization is achievable? If so, what are the consequences of that on the current financial institutions?
I mean, is it achievable to have a decentralized global ledger or decentralized global system? I don't think so. No, this is utopia. We try to always aim for the moon, shoot to the stars, and these cliches that we say that always aim high. Yeah, and we do aim high in our decentralization approach. We try as much as we can to be a really decentralized community, that the nodes are distributed, the mining is distributed, the wallet access is distributed, the access to funds is distributed. But does it happen in reality like this? No. There is some sort of concentration of power, concentration of mining, but it is definitely not run by one organization, by a single organization. There's no Facebook in cryptocurrencies. Yes, there is Coinbase, but Coinbase will not, I mean, it is definitely adding value to the crypto community now, but its existence or its not existence is the same. It will not make Bitcoin go away.
True.
Similar to Facebook, if it's gone, it will not make the internet go away. But today, if Facebook is gone out of the picture, there is a lot of things that will fail. Human relations, human communication, advertising, spreading the word, spreading the message. A lot of things will change, but definitely someone will come to fill this space in a matter of maybe days. There is 1,000 Facebook waiting to take Facebook place. And I think this is what would happen in crypto today. If a sort of a protocol fails in bringing top distribution or top decentralization in its offering, there is definitely another crypto coin on the corner waiting to take its place. And we're seeing that today with Ethereum, Bitcoin, Polkadot, Litecoin, Binance Chain, that they're all competing with each other to take the largest market cap of this industry.
Amazing. So, in short, a fully decentralized global economy is not achievable.
No, this is that we have to be realistic. We have to be realistic. We have to be. It's not about even being realistic. It is being sincere to yourself, and we don't want to bluff people that it's decentralization and it's gonna change the world. And no,
But I mean, coming to a concept such as stable coins and the fiat money pegged cryptocurrencies, obviously there are some algorithm pegged cryptocurrencies such as Basis, which did not get approved by the US regulators. But would that make a more realistic version of a semi-decentralized global economy?
Yeah, again, it is, semi-decentralization or semi-distribution is not same as being centralized and distributed. And that's, we have to say this. So what stable coins are coming to achieve today is simply a game in the speculation market. They're closing a gap in the speculation market, where if Bitcoin goes up, you can transfer your stable coin into a crypto and benefit from this spike. And if prices go down, you change from this crypto back into the stable coin to hedge against the dropping prices. Today, stable coins are more in demand even than Bitcoin and than Ethereum and than any other type of coin, especially in Lebanon and in countries where fluctuation of the fiat currency or the local currency is big. So let's give an example. If the Prime Minister of Lebanon, regardless of who he is, comes to say, yeah, tomorrow we're gonna make a government meeting and we're gonna elect ministers and we're moving forward with elections. The price of Lebanese lira will go down and it will settle on previous rates that it was being traded on, because political certainty reflects on the market as well, and it gives a sign of confidence for traders, for consumers, for money to flow in the economy back again. Now you might say, yeah, this is only the case in Lebanon. No, this is the case of global economy. President Joe Biden said we're gonna increase capital gains in the United States. What happened next day? Markets crashed, Bitcoin crashed, and the whole financial markets were in red. So this means that money responds to fear, uncertainty, and doubt in a, like, there is a correlation. If the more fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the market, the more the market is volatile, the more market behaves irrationally, and the spikes in prices are big. When there is certainty, when we are certain that crypto will be regulated, Bitcoin is not a security, Ethereum is not a security, then you're gonna see the cryptocurrency prices going up. If there is a rumor that an ETF will be approved in New York, prices will go up. If there is a rumor that Ripple has won its case against the SEC, prices of Ripple go up. So cryptocurrency markets specifically, and in general, like financial markets, they react to two things: to community and to news. So as they say, you have to buy the rumor, sell the news. And today, stable currencies are helping in playing this game of buy the rumor, sell the news in a more automated and faster way. So instead of Ahmad transferring euros to the trading platform, and it takes 2-3 days for the euro to arrive, and then he has to get the crypto and then get out of crypto and transfer the money back to his bank account and then again back to the exchange, and all these movements, they stifle the innovation. They stifle as well the growth of the market cap. So a company, and I say again, a company came and said, well, we're gonna issue a stable type of US dollar. We will call it USDT. And when people want to, buy USDT, they're freely to do that on any exchange. So you can go out of crypto into a stable US dollar and go back into crypto from a stable US dollar in milliseconds. You don't have to have an international transfer. You don't have to get SWIFT and get the Visa card and get MasterCard approval. No, it is all happening on a ledger.
Amazing. Do you think the countries should adopt stable coins as an unofficial currency?
I don't think so, to be honest, because as I said, stable currencies are issued by companies, and a government must not be under the mercy of a company. But perhaps governments should look at Bitcoin as a way of a reserve for them, to have it as a reserve asset, to add it on their ledger, on their balance sheets. So we might see in the future a country like Lebanon, for example, saying, well, yeah, today we are going to buy 100 Bitcoin and we will put it in our vault or on our ledgers as assets that the Lebanese government holds, and they're able to issue Lebanese lira against these assets.
Amazing. So on the topic of reserves and governments, I have a question regarding the correlation between reserves and collateralization, the concept of collateralization. And I think stablecoins specifically. So I'm not sure if they are related directly, or are they the same concept? What do you think? I think I've read there is a trilemma, and one second, I'll just bring it up. Yes, the stablecoin trilemma between decentralization, collateralization, and capital efficiency is speaking in terms that a decentralized economy is possible. In that sense, is collateralization, or can collateralization work the same way bank reserves work in the financial institution, in the current financial institutions? What do you think?
I mean, it's a very economic question, but I can tell you what is happening in the decentralized finance space, where collaterals like USDT, like stable currencies, and even non-fungible tokens like art tokens, they are used as a collateral to issue loans to users. So if you have a type of, let's say, if you have Bitcoin or Ethereum and you want to you have an unexpected payment to do. So instead of selling your Bitcoin, you would give it as a collateral and you would take a loan. Now, this loan is in the form of a new token. The interest on the loan is higher than the collateral, simply because there needs to be a way to guarantee that you're gonna pay back or lose your crypto. But
they're like 150%, I think. Is that correct? Some crazy number. They are like, the interests are crazy numbers, like 150.
Yeah, I mean, some interests are going up to 40%, 50%, because it depends on the quality of your collateral as well. So there is no specific number for this, but the concept of you not having to sell your crypto and you can take a loan against your crypto, and not a loan from a bank, a loan from another protocol. This is a total new game for finance. And this is a total new game to kill banks. So imagine in your Flus wallet, imagine in your Flus wallet, you cannot just buy crypto, but you can stake your crypto and earn interest on it. So you can lend it to other protocols and you can earn interest on it. Now, the mechanics of such thing to happen is really complex. And funny enough, it is software developers who are developing these types of constructions and types of flash loans and compound loans and borrowing and lending protocols. Today, you can put a non-fungible token as a way of a collateral to take a loan. So if you have a, let's say, a nice NFT token that is expensive, that is rare, and you own it, do you want to fix your house? You need cash. You're not gonna go sell your NFT. You're gonna go put it as a collateral and take a token from a protocol that accepts your collateral, and the condition is that you have to pay the same amount of tokens plus a little bit extra to take the ownership of your NFT back. If you don't do this, no problem. This NFT art is no longer for you. It's for the new for its new owner. There's no banks involved. There's no humans involved. It's simply automated through software and through code. And this is, you know, when people are talking about crypto, they're missing this point. They're missing that we're functioning totally without relying on a bank, without relying on central decision making.
Exactly.
You know, yeah.
I mean, we were introduced this course specifically to the mechanisms of macroeconomics. And
Yeah.
one of the topics was the centralized banks or the central banks and
Yeah.
their role in determining the bank reserves, the bank reserves and their role of
Yeah.
managing the whole economy. And so I find it very interesting because if we were to kill the banks and develop hypothetically a semi-decentralized economy, how are the roles of the central bank? How are they going to be
evolving?
Not necessarily evolving, but substituted with. So what's gonna replace reserves? Are they?
I will tell you.
As collateral.
I will tell you. I will tell you. And this might sound a little bit, futuristic, but I think what will happen to the banks is what happened to Kodak and to the post office.
Amazing.
You know? They will not exist. Before, I was not necessarily 100% convinced of this statement, but after seeing staking, lending, borrowing, and collaterals being used in loans and in full financial activity, I became convinced that what has been invented as protocols like AVA, like Compound, they will not go away, you know. And what it will do is it is replacing what a bank is doing. Many people today, they have crypto. I will not talk as well about people. Let's talk about the miners. In 2017, when a miner creates Bitcoin, at the end of the year or at the end of the month, he has to pay his electricity, his heat, his cooling, the salaries for his employees, or for the salaries for the contractors who are taking care of the mine. So 2017, they had to sell their crypto in order to take money and pay their costs.
Instead of
today, miners are not selling their crypto anymore. They lend their crypto, they stake it, and they earn interest on it. And from that interest, they are continuing their operations. And this is what majorly is driving prices up today in the cryptocurrency markets, because no one is selling. And when we say no one is selling, previously we meant that miners are selling, because they are the people who create a large amount of coins. Today, with the supply of Bitcoin shrinking every 10 minutes by 50% in this 4 years and the next 4 years, what will happen is, and what we are seeing is, less Bitcoin being supplied in the market, not only from a mining perspective, but from sales perspective. There's no one selling his, I don't want to say no one, but very few entities are selling their crypto like they used to do before to cover up expenses. Today, they lend, they borrow, they stake, and they make money.
Amazing. This is very interesting. I mean, I was interested initially, as I told you, with the current situation happening in Lebanon and how you guys intervene with Flus.me. But as I was introduced to the topic of macroeconomics, the whole scope of possibilities simultaneously expanded. So I find it very interesting.
Yeah, and take a look at a channel called Finematics. They have Finematics is a YouTube channel. They explain in really nice language what DeFi is about, what Alpha is about, what Compound is about, what NFTs are about, and how they are changing the face of finance, and how it's like short videos, 10, 15 minutes. It's a really nice place to learn how crypto is evolving to basically do the functions what a bank is doing.
Amazing.
You can have custody today, custody of your keys. You can have, you can issue your own loans. You can stake your money. You can earn interest. You can even say in how many days you want to earn the interest. You can participate in new projects. You can be an investor. Simply, you might be on your toilet seat taking a dump, and you're purchasing and selling cryptocurrencies. You're doing a full financial service on your toilet seat. So this is too big, too big to ignore. Today, Telegram groups are making more money than brick and mortar shops. You pay a Telegram group 50 euro every month to take crypto information. Telegram groups have 50, 60,000 subscribers. They're making $5, $6, $10 million a month.
That's crazy.
A month, and run by 16-year-old, 17-year-old, 18-year-old, and it is just one-way communication as well. You cannot chat with the guys. You just receive. You're just receiving information. If you act on that information, yeah, you can make money.
Amazing. This is
So do I have to build a bank today, or build a Forex academy, or build a full Bloomberg terminal to trade? No, I need a Telegram channel. I need a smartphone, an internet connection. I need just good signals, and I need a platform.
exactly good signals. I've been studying very intensively the Forex market. I've known literally the basics, but identifying certain setups has been a global, not a global, a main issue. So exactly, a Telegram would fix all of that with the signals. Yeah, I totally agree. Okay, when looking at for fully centralized lending markets, could that be an antidote for Islamic banks that do not charge interest?
Yeah. I think this is there is no answer to that question yet, because in Islamic finance, people are still split. Is crypto a halal investment vehicle or not? Is it a halal tool, yes or no? Some Islamic scholars say yes, it is, because there's no riba in it, and you're not creating profit over profit, or you're not compounding interest. But I don't think we can answer this question yet. But what we can say is the mechanisms of creating money in cryptocurrencies perhaps can be Sharia compliant, because there is effort done in order to create this money. And this effort can be measured by how much this computer is making money, how much computer is this spending in CPU energy, in joules electricity, so that there is some way of measurement. But and the concepts of mudaraba and murabaha, and it is beyond beyond my scope and beyond my understanding, to be honest. I cannot give an opinion on this, but I can tell you that the money created by crypto can be measured. So if measurement of work or effort is necessary to deem something a halal investment, then yeah, we can do this.
Amazing.
And this is what I understand from Islamic finance. Like interest is haram, riba is haram, because you did not put enough effort, or did not put any effort in creating this value. In crypto, yeah, definitely you have to put a lot of effort.
So from what you're saying, I understand the interest created in crypto could be halal because it's generated. Is that what you're saying?
I mean,
Potentially.
at what standards does Islamic finance use to deem something halal or haram? I don't know. I don't have background in Islamic finance, but I know what I hear. You know, when I see the YouTube discussions and scholars trying to argue amongst themselves, hey, this is halal, this is haram, there's riba in it, there's interest in it, there is usury, or what I can say is, if you need to measure the input or the value in crypto, this is measurable. We can measure it.
Amazing, amazing. I mean, this is the final question before jumping into a couple of personal questions that are not relevant to the topic of Bitcoin, but you've said that you are taking a step back from Fuse.me. How do you see that going? Where do you see that going? Like, could you potentially step in the market of lending?
Could be. Everything is possible. I mean, we're looking at what value can we bring to our user, besides telling him, yeah, transfer your cash into crypto. Okay, and then there needs to be an offer. And this offer we are trying to find out. It could be staking, that we offer you interest on your money. So if you have Lebanese lira under your mattress, you can put it in crypto and you can earn interest on that money. Yeah, this is, I mean, the most direction personally I'm looking at. How can people create passive income from the money that they have? How can you make it grow? We all know how interest rate in banks work, and today banks are giving a negative interest rate. So this means the savings you have in the bank, you need to pay money in order to save it. Is there an alternative?
Isn't this the biggest indicator of the failure of the financial institutions?
I think it is one of the indicators that we are heading into some sort of financial trouble. I don't want to be like those people say, yeah, we're going meltdown, panic, and no, let's. I mean, I hope I am wrong. I wish that I am wrong, but I think we are in a moment that looks like the 1973 type of moment, when we had the Nixon shock and we had a huge financial crisis. Why? Because the economy has been flat globally since 2 years now. From the beginning of the even before the pandemic until this moment, there is a lot of financial reform that needed to happen, and it did not happen. Starting from Lebanon, I mean, this is needless to say, but from a US dollar perspective as well, from international trade perspective, from the Brexit and the EU and China, this whole mix of emotions and mix of uncertainty led, fed by the pandemic. Yeah, it is clear that we are going somewhere not nice, because the economy is flat and we keep printing money and we keep giving help and we give loans, and we're creating debt over debt over debt over debt, and it doesn't seem to end. There's no ceiling for it. Students, before even the pandemic, they graduate from university with debt. Children are born and they carry the debt of their fathers and their mothers. So it is a vicious, unending cycle. And especially for students, My sister studies in the US, and she has, right after her graduation, she has a bill of hundreds of thousands of dollars that she has to pay back. Even in the Netherlands, there still suffer students. I mean, people at the age of 38, they're still paying the tuition school when they were 20. So it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense that you go to school, you learn, and you come out, you have to pay 50,000 euros or 60,000 euros, and you accumulate in student debt. So I think things have to change, and perhaps crypto is here to tell us, yeah, we are going to change the way we communicate value, the way we finance, the way we send and receive money. Forget about the paper, similar to how internet came to tell us, forget about sending letters to your girlfriend. You can send her a heart on WhatsApp. It's the same thing.
True.
You can draw it on a piece of paper and send it to her. It will take 2 to 3 days if she's in the same country, but on her phone, she receives it instantly. So if I came to tell you in 1984 or 1999, or even 1990, that hey, we're gonna have emojis on cell phones and we're gonna just send emojis to each other, yeah, nobody believed that. Even our use cases of technology changed. Before WhatsApp was there, we used to communicate with each other through the status of the MSN Messenger.
Yeah.
So when you change your status on MSN Messenger, I'm in cinema, I'm eating, I'm going to school, changing the status was a way to communicate to your friends what you are doing.
True.
And then WhatsApp picked up this idea and developed something where people can message to each other. It took it as a messaging platform.
True. Beautifully put. I mean, yeah, I mean that was it for as far as
Yeah, maybe today we're using Bitcoin just to send and receive money, but in the future we might be using it for something else. We don't know. 1990, nobody saw Facebook coming, nobody saw Twitter coming, nobody saw Instagram coming, nobody even imagined that we will be streaming Netflix and looking on Tinder and ordering a pizza online. And today you do everything online. You date online, you marry online, you fuck online, you cook online, you dress online, you study online, you work online, you meet with your parents. On everything you're doing in your life, you're doing it on a digital medium. So it is time that this digital medium has its own money, and money that is not dictated by a central party, because there is no central party that dictates how we meet. We did not go to the Ministry of Information to take a permission for Ahmed and Tay to meet. We opened an app, we scheduled both an appointment, and we met on Zoom video. It's like you're sitting in front of me and in the behind the screen. So the same way, I think money needs to be handled in our times, and Bitcoin is simply the best way to do it.
exactly the realm of possibilities is enormous.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now on to personal questions for a finale. How did it feel publishing your book? That's something.
No, the book was a roller coaster, because I didn't know why am I writing it in the beginning. I wrote my book to talk about blockchain and cryptocurrencies, but then it changed. It changed because I realized why I want to write the book. After I've written like 350 pages, I realized, hey, I'm actually telling my mom what happened in my life the past 30 years. So I made it a little bit more personal. I took out the most memorable periods of my life and I put it in a book to tell her what happened in my life since 30 years, including cryptocurrencies.
Amazing. I mean, I'm currently contemplating writing, not necessarily a book, but a mini ebook that
Yeah.
my friends, family could access, anybody who follows me on Instagram, that will potentially explain why everybody should, not necessarily exercise, but uh, submit themselves into voluntary suffering in philosophical terms,
Yeah.
that because that essentially what exercising and working out is.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of concepts of such as the monomyth, the heroism that is similar or parallel to the journey I personally took, and I think shedding light upon that and addressing the possibility of everybody having a monomyth, a heroism inside.
Yeah.
I think that is very valuable to share, essentially. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, I would tell you, Ahmed, when you're writing a book, do not stop. Just continue writing as good flow as you can have. There is nothing such as a bad writing or a bad book. Write everything you have in your head. Um, Take a break when it's needed. Like, try to take breaks between writing the book. Try to read what you have written before and then continue based on that. But it is a therapy. It's a therapy to take what is inside you and put it on a piece of paper, because then you're taking it out of your head, out of your subconscious, and you're just writing it down on paper. So yeah.
did you force, right? A lot of people keep saying that the first 8 hours in the morning, just write. And I do not feel like writing
No,
necessarily in the first
feel
three
what
hours.
what what is comfortable for you. If you're an evening person, then write before you sleep. Write whenever the moment is right for you. Have always a pen and paper in your hand. You might be in a bus and have a good idea, write it down.
Exactly.
Uh, but do not. I mean, treat this as a ritual, as something sacred for you. Um, and the message of why are you writing this book will be revealed later.
Exactly.
Don't push yourself. Yeah.
I get pulses of thoughts from my.
Yeah, that's why I have always like my ledger with me. If something I heard or something I liked, it rhymes, I just simply write it down.
That's the Pablo Escobar inspired
Yeah,
legend.
that's the Pablo Escobar ledger. I think you've watched my webinars then when I refer to the Pablo Escobar ledger. Yeah,
That was a perfect analogy. So,
yeah, yeah.
uh, I mean, after everything you went through, being in a refugee camp, do you think being an invisible man served as a blessing in disguise?
Yeah, of course. This, I think, the best thing that happened in my life, that
Exactly.
I became a refugee, to be honest. I'll be honest with you. It's the best thing that has happened to me, because it gave me purpose, it gave me roots, it grounded me, it made me appreciate everything around me. It made me love people that I lost contact with for a long period of time, like my family, like my mom. So I didn't meet my mom for almost 25 years now. She lives in the States, I live in Lebanon. And this is why when I wrote the book, I wrote it in a way that I'm telling her what happened in the 30 years of my life.
Amazing.
Uh, but it is in the beginning, it was a curse. And I always thought that being Syrian is a curse, you know, similar to how Palestinians think that being a Palestinian in Syria is a curse. Um, but this curse became a blessing when I applied for asylum. If I wasn't Syrian, I would not have been able to apply for asylum in the Netherlands. If I was Lebanese, I would have been seeing hundreds of thousands of Syrians coming to Europe, applying for asylum, and living in Europe while I have to go back. So the only way that I found out how blessed I was is when I realized, hey, I'm Syrian. I can just go knock on the door and say, hello, guys, I'm Syrian. I want asylum. They will tell me, ah, come, here's a bed, here's a blanket, here's a few things. Wait a few months and you will get a new identity and you will become a European citizen. So
Amazing.
how lovely is that? You know?
Amazing.
But yeah, of course, you have to go through this, as you put it yourself, it's not self-torture or
Voluntary suffering.
self-suffering. Yeah, and it is somehow a voluntary decision to take, to suffer a little bit, because at the end you will have, you will have results. And this, by the way, is proof of work, because your body is working, your mind is working, there is suffer, and suffer results from work. Work makes you tired, makes your muscles tired when you exercise, but and you're releasing heat. When you're thinking a lot, you're sweating as well. So it's a perfect example of proof of work.
Amazing. No, this is the second to last question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Yourself, I mean, you yourself, the company.
Yeah, hopefully, I mean, in 5 years, Flus will be perhaps beyond the million user mark. Within 5 years, Flus will be in Lebanon, in Jordan, in Iraq, in Algeria, in Morocco, in Tunis, all the MENA region, in Egypt, in Gaza, and everywhere where there is financial exclusion, people are able to download the wallet and get financial services. Where I see myself personally, yeah, maybe in somewhere in the Arab region, maybe in Egypt, maybe in Lebanon, or I would definitely not be staying a long time in Europe.
Really?
I like to travel. I like my culture. So having a European passport was a mission for me, was a goal, and I'm achieving it now. So I have now to set up some new goals. Okay, what I'm going to do next after I have my nationality. Am I going to stay in the Netherlands? I don't think so, because I can travel. So why to stay here? And Netherlands will not go away, so I can come back anytime I want.
True.
But the time of not being with my family in Lebanon, or visiting Egypt, visiting all these Arab countries that I didn't have the chance to visit as a Syrian, now I can do it as a Dutch. So maybe I can go to Al-Quds and visit Palestine, but I won't go there as an Arab. I would go there as a Dutch person. I cannot go to Egypt, so maybe I can go as a Dutch guy. Although I'm the same person, it's funny to think about it. The person hasn't changed. Yeah, just your skin passport has changed. Same information, everything is the same. There's nothing that makes you different. It's just the color of your the skin, even not the content of the passport has changed, even just the skin color of your passport. That's it. And
Nationalism.
when people talk about discrimination, yeah, that is as well discrimination. Discrimination is not just the color of your skin, but it's the color of your passport skin.
True. So I could conclude that you're not in favor of nationalism, or you despise it. I certainly.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I definitely despise it. Yeah.
Amazing. I mean, you're always welcome back in Kuwait. I've certainly grew up
Yeah,
here.
definitely. If I have the Dutch passport, I'm gonna visit back Kuwait and say, "Hey guys, I came back. You didn't accept me back as a Syrian. I was rejected in many countries around the world. The only country that accepted me was two countries actually, and three including the Netherlands. Dubai was first,
Really?
but I had to make a visa to go to Dubai, and you needed a kind of what we call wasta to go to Dubai. But Malaysia, I went to it like I'm going to Syria. You know, I just showed my Syrian passport at the borders and border control in Malaysia and said, okay, come in. And Netherlands, of course, I had to apply for a visa. But the only country that I visited without a visa was Malaysia. So now with my Dutch passport, hopefully I wanna just travel. I just want to travel. I just want to have the feeling of standing at the immigration counter and looking him in the eyes and saying, hey, a few years ago I came here, didn't let me in. Now look what do I have. So what
Yes.
are you going to do? Shall I call the embassy or you will let me in? Yeah.
Amazing, incredible. Last question. What do you think about Marwan Abdul Hamid's startup, Grow Home, as far as the philosophy behind it? Do you think it is scalable, such as your startup?
I mean, we have different tools to achieve the same objective, which is growing our home back. We both decided to do it on a peer-to-peer level, not engaging with dinosaur organizations that move slow, that run slow, that comprehend slow even. I think we are on the same target on different paths. I chose the financial application part because it's something I understand and I used and I lived. And I think Marwan chose the growing the entrepreneurial part of his home origin because this is what he is good at. So we both leveraged our strengths. Uh, are we scalable? I think it is. Uh, any model can be scaled if you find enough problem to solve. If there is enough pain to solve, then yes, it is scalable. Looking at our regions, I think we have a lot of pain in entrepreneurship. There is a lot of young people. They're very ambitious. They're very tech savvy. They are they speak multiple languages. They are educated, but they don't have an opportunity. They're looking for a chance. They're looking for the مثل ما we say in Arabic راس الخيط. They're looking for just to start, where to start from. And this is, I think, where Grow Home can help them grow inside their homes, which is amazing because then you don't have to travel to another country to benefit from an opportunity. The opportunity comes to you. The country benefits from this, and the economy benefits from this, and most importantly, the person himself benefits from it because people always want to travel outside their country. They want to migrate, immigrate, and they want to pack their bags and run away, but they do not realize the price they have to pay. And the price you pay being away from your family, being alone, being away from your friends, time passes by and you become a different person than what you expected or what you wanted to be when you were back home. So definitely there's a price to pay when you are immigrating to another country, and it's taken for granted. So these guys today, they wake up with their mothers making coffee or cooking for them, or having his wife or his fiance in his home, helping him, supporting him. But when you go like immigrate and go work in Europe or work somewhere else, you lose all these benefits. And and you come into a total new environment, new culture for you. So the challenges are as big as like you're staying at home. So if there's a chance to grow at home, it's, you know, beautiful.
Amazing. I mean, on the topic of migrating
Yeah.
and studying abroad, was the language barrier very difficult for you to break?
No, Netherlands is a country that embraced the English language as a second language. So I didn't find it to be really difficult because I speak English in Dubai, I speak English in Lebanon, I speak English. So it is somehow comfortable for me to practice this language. But other European countries have a lot of barrier and a lot of ego when it comes to speaking other languages.
Turkey,
So in Germany, you have to speak German. In France, you have to speak French. In
Turkey,
Greece, you have to speak Greek. Netherlands, no, you can speak English. Everybody speaks English. Belgium, you have to speak Flemish or French.
Turkey.
Turkey as well, you know. I mean, even in the Netherlands, the Turkish people, they even in front of you, they speak Turk to each other. You
Turkish.
know, yeah, they speak
I
Turkish.
have,
So
I don't know why they have اعتزاز, you know.
yeah,
They're
they
prided.
love their language, they love their country, and but as I said, it's not a barrier for the Netherlands specifically. It's not a barrier.
Amazing. Mr. Tay, it's been a pleasure.
Man, you keep calling me on Mr. Tay. My name is just Tay.
Man, we gotta keep it professional.
لا لا عادي man. You don't have to.
Really.
You don't have to.
Habibi, I'm honored having talked with you, and I appreciate you
Thank you.
doing this. Inshallah, I'll do
Thank
my
you.
best and deliver both a project and a presentation that are worth the time and effort that you've put in this interview. Thank you.
Inshallah, man, Ahmed. I really wish you all the best. Anything that you need you need help with, you have my WhatsApp. Just message me, and I'm looking forward for the final result.
Habib, inshallah, I will not let
Yeah.
you.
All right, Habibi. Take care and good luck.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye bye.